Hey, I'm Angie, and welcome to my podcast, Chaotic Harmony. With Thanksgiving just around the corner, I thought it would be a good time for me to sit back and reflect on this past year with you. Many things in this world have changed, as we all know, such as genders. There's a lot of them now, which I find odd, but that's just my personal opinion. Politics, religions. There's a lot of crazy shit going on in this world, okay? A lot more than what I just said. But there's so many changes that some are, for the better and some are for the worst. I guess it just really depends on who you are talking to and what subject you are talking about. Either way, it's enough for me to realize that I need to look at life through a different lens and truly ask myself, Angie, what are you truly thankful for? I have, in my opinion, I don't need anybody else's opinion. In my opinion, I have a beautiful family. So of course I am thankful for them. I have a roof over my head, food to prepare for my family, laundry to keep me busy, and as of this year, I haven't had a suicidal thought, a suicidal plan, or a mental health hospitalization in 5 years. You heard me correctly. None of them in 5 years. So all of that and more, I am incredibly thankful for. But I don't want to be just thankful for the obvious reasons. This year, I want to give thanks to those things that I personally believe are overlooked. And I'm talking about those everyday, mundane things that can make or break my day. And then make me go, oh shit, you know what? Life ain't that bad. It could be worse. I want to give thanks to those kinds of things. So, here it goes. I am thankful for our old neighbors across the street from us. If it wasn't for them, I would never remember to take the garbage out to the road, and I certainly would never remember what day to put the recycling out. Also, I'd like to note, I would never, ever know that her cat had a spaz attack when someone dropped off my son and had loud music on in their car. I would have never known. So thank you for making sure to come over and say, hey, that music is too loud, that my cat is having a spaz attack. Thank you for that. I am thankful for that because I have 2 cats. So I need to know that information just in case. And I'm also thankful for the reminders of the garbage. I also have to point out this lady, she walks with a group of ladies and they're all about the same age and they have this walking pattern, and so I have to give thanks to that too for making me feel lazy for not having a walking group. But really I am thankful for them. I really am. I am thankful for the Jeep community. Now if you don't know what that is, go and buy yourself a Jeep Wrangler. Not the other kinds, the Jeep Wrangler. I did not know how important the Jeep community was going to be to me until we bought our Jeep that we named Ethel. I now feel like I have more friends than I actually have. All over a Jeep Wave. And hey, if you're listening to this and you own a Jeep and I give you a Wave, give me one back. Because that's how we are friends. That's how I know we're friends. If I don't get one back, I'm flipping you off. And we're not friends anymore. Yeah. So either way, the Jeep community has made me feel like I have more friends than ever. It's like, yeah, we're cooler than the rest of these guys on the block. I am thankful for wine. You heard me correctly. Wine. I don't know if anybody, and I'm just saying this because it's my personal opinion, and I've heard it from my husband, but I don't think anybody would really want to be in my mind or in my head for just one day because of the overthinking that I do and the crazy, like, just my mind is racing all the time. And it's part of my mental illness and it sucks. I just can't get it to shut off. And it wasn't until this summer when I was outside and my husband just passed me some of my wine and I slowly started to go, oh shit, my mind is shutting off. I'm not thinking about what I need to do tomorrow, what this yard looks like, what the neighbors are doing across the street, who is looking at me, who's not looking at me. It just slowed down. And so I'm thankful for that. I am thankful for my glass of wine here and there, just so I can stop myself from overthinking. I am thankful for Ethel, my Jeep, like I was just talking about earlier. I honestly never thought I would want one, own one, or need one. But then she came into my life when I needed her the most. Sure, she has a drinking problem, but if I weigh the pros and the cons, she is worth it. Ethel isn't just a Jeep. She's an adventure, a lifestyle choice, and she's my therapy. So I could not thank Ethel enough for what she has done for me. I am thankful for an appliance breaking down. Sorry, honey, but I am. I'm saying that to my honey because he's the one that is also Mr. Fix-It. But I am because, you never realize what you got until it's gone. And that goes for anything and everything. And you don't realize how much you need that dishwasher until it's broke. Sure, I'm looking at 2 dishwashers right now, my left and right hand. However, I really enjoy the appliance, the dishwasher. So, yeah, if that breaks down, I have to go, crap, what the hell am I going to do now? And then once it's fixed, it's like, and I am incredible. It just makes you feel like grounded, like, you know what? I did need that dishwasher. You don't realize what you got till it's gone. I'm telling you. I am thankful for rude people. Yeah, odd one, I know. But hear me out, okay? So, I feel like the appliance breaking down is kind of similar to rude people. Say you're having a good day, and then all of a sudden you just bump into that person that's just having a crap day themselves, or is just genuinely an arrogant asshole. You bump into them and you're like, oh my God, and that shit rubs off on you, and then you bring it home, and then your whole, like for me, everybody, we feed off of each other's energy. If it wasn't for those rude people, I wouldn't realize how nice I actually am sometimes. But so I'm going to give you an example. I had a road rage incident that happened just like kind of recently. And I'm going to call that the rude person. I was directly behind a tractor. And I shouldn't have been annoyed by it because we live in Wisconsin. That's going to happen, especially where I live. But also I shouldn't have been annoyed because I grew up on a farm for like 19 years. I drove those tractors. So it shouldn't really bother me. And I was driving Ethel on top of it. So again, all of those reasons, I shouldn't have been annoyed. But I kind of was. So I'm trying to pass this tractor, and the traffic on the opposite side is it's just ongoing. So I just couldn't, and I kept swerving to make sure that I could go and pass this tractor, but it just wasn't working out. There was a guy behind me, and I couldn't see past him. So that guy was directly on Ethel's ass, and I'm like, dude, if you scratch my Ethel, I am going to murder you. I was thinking it, not really was going to do it. Just saying. But either way, This tractor is just chugging along, chugging along, sometimes giving me false hope because he had to swerve, to move away for the mailbox. And then I would see that there's a slight chance, and then I'd go, and then nope, another car is like right there. But then the chance came. There was just enough time for me to just put the pedal to the metal and pass that fucking tractor. So I had my blinker on the entire time. I forgot to add that. And just as I'm about to go into the lane to turn and to pass this fucking tractor, the truck that is behind me is flipping me off like I was in his way. Excuse me, sir, but I was the one that was first. I was the one right behind the freaking tractor. It was my turn to go. But this asshole flips me off and gives me a look like I was gonna break his or ruin his vehicle. Not cool. But to make it worse, there was also the guy behind him doing the exact same thing, only like like tongue out and laughing at me. And I was like, oh my God, I have never felt that. I had that rage. I just wanted to jump out of the damn Ethel and be like, oh my God, what are you guys are assholes. And then I couldn't go. I had to go right behind the tractor. That's when I was swearing for a little while. And I realized, what the hell am I in a hurry for? It was 8 a.m, right? My kids were all in school. I'm a stay-at-home wife. I had no rush. There was no reason for me to rush to get home anyway. And I just had 2 guys flip me off all over trying to pass a tractor. I could have, something could have severely happened to me or, to all of us. And would have really been worth it? What was the rush? So then I started laughing, like hysterically. I looked like a lunatic. I know I did, and I don't care. But I just was laughing like, oh my God, I cannot believe I just let those guys get to me. They're assholes. But it made me humble in the moment because I'm like, you know what? I feel bad for that tractor because he had to watch all of that and go, oh shit, I might be the reason why these guys all either pull over and beat each other or be in an accident. So I had to it just made me go, you know what? Slow down. What is the hurry anyway? Let him flip you off. Let him pass. And after that, no joke, I followed that tractor for another 2-3 miles, going real slow, and I just blasting my music because it made me realize that, hey, you know what? Life ain't that bad. Why be rude? Let them be rude, but don't be the rude person. Don't follow in their footsteps. Don't let them rain on your parade. Instead, make a parade and be one with the tractor. Also, there was an incident with a post office worker. Oh my gosh, I'm not sure if I brought this up already on the podcast, but that post office worker was a dick. It was around Christmas time last year. He actually held a package from me saying it was never showed up, this and that and the other. And he didn't care, and he was a dick. And then when I made a complaint, he was the one that actually responded to my complaint, saying that his video footage never, I don't even want to get into it. He just was really irritating, and I feel like he was just feeling sorry for his own life. Like maybe he was just miserable in his own life that he had to project it onto someone else to make himself feel better. And honestly, thank you, post office guy, because I got a refund for that package that you thought I even made a comment like, you are going to ruin my Christmas because that one package is for my grandson. And he said, I can't do anything about it. I don't care. But in reality, he had the package. So with that being said, thank you. I am very thankful for you because I got a refund for that gift and I ended up getting that gift just in time to actually hand it out. So, what favors did you really do yourself besides make yourself look like an asshole? I don't know, but you made me thankful. I am thankful for my husband. Now, I know this should go on the top of my obviously I'm thankful for my husband, but hear me out. He is something else. Okay? He only has like one feeling he says. He says, "Oh, I felt a feeling," or "Oh, that hurt my one feeling." He says that, but it's not true. He's a hard ass. He's a hard ass. That is why I am attracted to him, because he's got that like, I will I can't believe I'm gonna say this. I will murder you look, but really he's a softie. Kinda. I should say kinda, because I have a daughter going through a breakup right now. And last night I was, talking to my husband and my daughter's boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, whatever you want to call him right now. And I was listening to them talk, and they're two completely different people, but I do find them to be very similar. But my husband was giving him some advice, and he's like, "Listen, I only have one feeling. But I actually have many, but I don't show them." And do you really want a softie? Do you really want to be crying in front of your woman all the time? Does that make you feel masculine? Like, he was saying all this stuff, and I'm thinking, yeah. But like 16 years ago, I would have wanted, more hugs and this and that. But as I was sitting there watching him give all this advice, I'm thinking, one, you don't know our daughter very well, because she's not going to like anything that you're saying and giving him advice on. But two, yeah, I wouldn't want the crying, whiny, none of that. I want the man that's in charge. I want the man that's going to make the move. I want all of that. And my husband is all that and more. But also with that mentality, he has helped me with my mental illness. On top of it, he has also helped himself when it came to shit with my mental illness, because, yeah, the way that he looked at life and the way he looks at life really helped us a lot. So I am thankful for that. But I'm also thankful for the way that his one feeling will pop up. And one of the times that it happened was we were in a quick trip in Bondwell, Wisconsin, and there was a homeless guy out there. And I know he wasn't supposed to be out there because I used to work at that quick trip, actually. But he was out there like trying to get some change and whatnot. And he goes to my husband, and he's got tattoos all over the place. And he really, honestly, it looked really sad. And he said, "I'll sing any song you want for $1, for anything. I don't care." And my husband, he just whipped out a 20 and gave it to him. And the guy's like, "Oh, man, are you serious?" And I was behind my husband. And I'm just looking, and I'm like, that's my guy. He has a feeling. And then we get into we like open up the doors, walk into the gas station, and my husband goes, "I really just didn't want to hear him sing. Like, that's why I did. I just wanted him to shut up." So here I went from, "Oh, that's my guy," to, "What? That's what you did?" And he's like, "Well, I also, I felt bad for the guy. Look at him, I do have a feeling." But then that quickly changed for me, because all of a sudden the homeless guy is buying a lottery ticket with the money my husband just gave him. And instead of looking at it the way I would have, which is still like, what? You needed money that bad to go and buy a lottery ticket with the money you just got? Buy yourself something like to eat, like transportation, whatever. My husband's like, "Hey, he's just trying to double his money. Like, I'd do the same thing." That's what I adore about him. And I'm so thankful that he looks at things that way, because I wouldn't. But my most favorite thing that I'm thankful for is he goes along with my crazy. He might not appreciate this next little bit here, but I do. So, crack my knuckles. He had COVID when it first came out and lost his taste and smell like most people. He also did not regain his smell, and I'm not sure on the taste because he says my food tastes good and I would like to assume he can actually taste it. So I'm not going to ask him on that. But I do know he can't smell. I do know that has been tested, proved. I ain't going there. Either way, he was having he farted so bad. No, correction. Our dog farted so bad. And she even scared herself and gave me those crazy eyes. And I'm like, get the hell out of our bed. Oh my God. I'm gagging. And my husband's all over there well, I can't smell anything. That's not really how he sounds. But yes, he couldn't smell anything. So I decide to come up with this all right, well, if you can't smell, I'm going to get you your smell back. And he's like, how are you going to do that? It's well, I'm going to make you smell your own fart. And instead of saying, you're crazy, man, go away, he's like, what? And I came into the kitchen. I got a plastic container, a plastic food container, which is thrown away and gone now. And I went and I also got a bench, a little stool chair thing, and put it on his side of the bed. And I don't know if you've ever watched the movie Escanaba in the Moonlight, but if you haven't, spoiler alert, they try to get a guy to fart. And that is exactly what I felt like. My husband was in just his underwear, laying on his side. I am sitting on that stool, and I am pushing on his stomach and trying to massage it like I'm kneading bread, okay? And I am also holding onto, in the other hand, with the container on his butt area, okay? I made sure it was lined up correctly. Once again, he had underwear on. So I'm sitting there, and instead of pushing me away, my husband's entertaining the idea, and I go, as I'm pumping his stomach and moving things around, and you can hear the gas around in his stomach. So you know it's coming, but here my husband's like, hey, whatever, and then all of a sudden he goes, oh, it's coming. And all of a sudden, I feel it. I feel the container get warm. And I'm like, what do I do? He's like, put a lid on it. I put the lid on it, and I'm like, oh my God, what do I do now? And the whole intent of it was to literally put it in his face so he can regain his smell. Because I'm sick of him not being able to smell. But my son, one of our older sons, made a laugh in the living room that made me go, wait a second. I have a fart in a jar. Or in a container. I'm going to go blast that fucker. Because I can. So, with that being said, my husband did not say no to that idea either. I came out here and my son was like, no, I heard something going on in there. No, I'm not listening. I'm not opening that up. I was trying hell to get him to open the jar, or the container. Sorry, I don't know why I keep saying jar. But either way, he grabs that container, and I'm like, fine. So then I opened it up, and poof, my son starts gagging. I start gagging. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, I pissed myself. I was laughing so hard. I literally pissed myself. And I come into our bedroom to tell my husband, what had happened. But we live in a trailer house. Let's be real. Thin walls. You can hear everything. So my husband was laughing already. And I'm like, oh, I can't believe I just pissed my pants. But then after it was all said and done, I'm in the bathroom cleaning up myself. And I'm like, you know what? I really appreciate this guy, because who on earth would let me poke his stomach and make him fart into a container and entertain it the whole time and not be like, no, hon, that's gross. We're 40-some years old. We need to grow up. No, he didn't do that. And I love him for that. And I am thankful for him for that. And yes, all that sounds gross, but it's also hilarious. And you know what? The whole idea actually came from a memory I had in like 8th grade when we went to some kind of camp for science. And some dudes that I went to school with farted in a Pringles can. And that was their science project. So thank you to them also for giving me the idea. Okay. Either way. Honestly, though, I feel like I have to say this on here because my husband doesn't listen to me any other way, you know? So I appreciate you and I'm thankful for you, baby. I love you. I am thankful for Roblox. You know, I can't honestly believe I'm saying this, but hear me out on this one. Hear me out. Our youngest is 13 years old. He's our only child we have together, and he has autism. And he's like higher functioning. I swear that my kid, I'm not saying it because he's my kid. And he's been on my podcast before a couple times. His name's Colton. And I'm not saying it because he's my kid, but truly, he really is a very, very smart kid. So with him having autism, this game, Roblox, has really actually helped him. And it's helped with his like communicating with other people. And some of the things he says on there, yeah, I don't agree with. But it's also like helped him make some friends and learn how to make friends. It's helped with his creativity. My son is making games on there that people are paying him Roblox cash for to either create or make things for them. It's amazing. It's amazing to see that. And he's also like, he's a staff member for them. We couldn't pay for a membership that he wanted. And in fact, he didn't even ask my husband and I for it. Instead, he found a loophole, and that was to, do this like application as if you were getting a job. And instead of it being like all these stupid little questions, they were harder questions that my son had to answer. And he wrote 20 paragraphs about this on this application. So with that being said, like Roblox has really helped my son blossom. And I truly believe that he is going to be like a game creator or some kind of computer whiz, because this game has really helped him out a lot. So I am thankful for Roblox. I'm also thankful for the Little Caesars lady worker in New London, Wisconsin. Now, I have not ordered from there in a while. It really has been a while. But if I were to call right now and she were to answer, I put my order in and everything, and then she would be like, okay, so this is for Schultz. All right, but do you want the onions on there? Because you didn't say onions. She literally knows my voice and knows my order by heart. And it could be like 6 months of not ordering, and then I'd order and she'd know it still. So I appreciate and I am thankful for you, because if it wasn't for that and for you memorizing all that crap, I would one day all of a sudden have a pizza with just pepperoni on it. And that would not be okay for me. I am very thankful, and I mean very thankful, for the touchdown that made the Packers and the Jaguars go into overtime on Sunday, October 27th, 2024. So I am dumb, and I fully am aware of that, and I just admitted it. Like, I have no shame. But what I have shame in is when I say things sometimes, and I'm sure it's on here. I'm doing this without script, so as you can see, it's working out real well for me. But I tend to accidentally mess my words up sometimes. So I'll say like, yeah, well, if you don't knock it off, I'm going to shove my foot up my ass. And what I mean is shove my foot up their ass. But I'll mess up my words. So with that being said, Sunday, October 27th, I look at my husband and we're both like, I'm having a glass of wine, he's having beer. We're actually like, he's got his arm around me. That was odd. Very nice though. But either way, I said to him, the way we were looking at the beginning of the game, I said, "Hun, you know, if it ends up being like a final score of 27-20, I'm gonna shit myself." And he's like, "Oh yeah?" I'm like, "Yeah." Now, mind you, at the time I said it, it didn't look possible. We weren't playing right. I don't go into the logistics of everything because I just watch and I just try to pretend I know. Like, I'm a bullshitter, so I will bullshit the entire game as if I know exactly what I'm talking about. But I don't. Either way, I just didn't think 27-20 was going to be reasonable. My husband went, "Oh, you're going to shit yourself?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm going to shit myself." In the fourth quarter, with only 5 minutes and 36 seconds left, and I know this for a fact because I took a picture to make sure I send to one of my sons going, "Oh crap, I'm done." Our scores, Packers were 27, Jaguars 20. And we only had 5 minutes and 36 seconds to go. That's when it started. My husband's like, "You're going to shit yourself now?" And I'm like, "No!" I never have sat there and wanted another team that was playing against the Packers to score ever. This game, I'm like, "Come on, Jaguars, what are you doing? Hurry up. Like, I cannot handle this." Yeah, I tried like hell to get out of that because I was like, "No, I meant that I meant like as a joke. I meant to figure of speech." He's like, "Nope, you're going to shit yourself and I'm going to watch." I'm like, "You're fucking nasty." He's like, "Yeah, your point. You said you were going to do it, so you have to own up to your words." So I really thought I was going to have to shit myself. I'm like, "No, I can't. With that being said, they went into overtime and, they won. The Packers won. So I did not have to worry about it. But yeah, I'm thankful for that touchdown because I did not want to shit my pants. And I also need to be thankful for the fact that I still managed to put my foot in my mouth because you know what? At the end of the day, I can feel dumb about it, but it makes everybody else laugh. And I don't do it on purpose either, so that's even better. So I can be thankful for that, I guess. I am thankful for the election we had this year. Now, I'm not going to get into all of the mumble jumbles of it. We all know how it turned out and all that. We know what family members aren't going to talk to us and which ones blocked us. And I say us because my husband and I have Facebook together. And, well, he really likes to pick on certain people. And it tends to always look like it's from me. And we lost a family member. But whatever. Not one we really talk to. Either way, this election, the reason why I'm thankful for it, though, is it was one where it actually gave me something different to talk to my husband about. And it also drew me in to learn more about things that I truly didn't give a crap about before. And I had my own mental illness to worry about. I didn't need this in my head. But I all of a sudden felt like if I was going to vote, I really wanted more knowledge. It was like I got a hungry thirst for knowledge. So I am thankful for this election because even though the world is crazy and all this and that, it made me really try hard to understand as much as I possibly could. And it also, I'm not done. I'm still listening and watching and keeping an eye on things because once I started doing that, I realized how much I actually enjoyed getting to know more about things I didn't give a shit about before. And that was all because of the election. So I truly am thankful for that. I am thankful for this podcast. So this cost, the cost of my podcast, because I do have to pay for it, is a fraction of what my therapy would cost. So like that's one big win there. You guys are my therapists, I should say. But this podcast, it also helped me with my husband because he actually listens to me on here. It's really weird. Not at home, but like on here. So, yeah, that's cool. But it's more than that. It helped me with my self-confidence because with every episode that I publish, that's another one that I did, Now, this episode, I barely wrote anything, and I'm trying a new approach of it. So it's like I'm going outside of my comfort zone. With every episode that I work on, I am putting my all into it, and I'm also coloring outside of that box. I'm pushing myself a little bit more. It's making me feel more like I'm a productive person versus one that doesn't have a purpose at all. So truly this podcast, even if I had 0 listeners, it has helped me in so many more ways than I could have ever imagined. And I'm still doing it. I never thought I was going to even be this far. I am thankful for the phrase, I will give you a chance, I guess. Now I kind of have to wrap this up soon because my dog's going to go nuts in about a couple seconds because my husband's pulling into the yard. So don't mind that. But I am thankful for that phrase, I will give you a chance, I guess. Because it came from my son Matthew has mental challenges and like learning challenges and all of that. And he went for the job that he still currently has right now, and he went for an interview, and the boss came out to talk to me, and I'm like, why is he talking to me? But he could clearly see that something was unique with Matthew. And then he shook my hand and said, I will give him a chance, I guess. And because of that, Matthew has now been at that job for 3-4 months now. And he goes into that job every single day with the idea of, I have to show him why he gave me a chance. So it was like one of those old school, it wasn't like I see nowadays where you just put a resume in, blah, blah, blah. No, my son had the handshake. It was a verbal, I guess I'll give you a chance. And because of that, my son, I have never seen him work harder. He bought his first vehicle. It's not the greatest vehicle, but he sits in that thing every single night because he still doesn't have his license and he's getting in very soon. So I'm very excited. But it's nice to see my son finally become an adult. I had to pause there for a second because my husband just came home, and surprisingly, I said, hey, my dog was going to go nuts, and this is the first time she has not, so clearly she knows, don't mess with mom when she's on her podcast. But anyway, yeah, as I was getting at, that I will give you a chance, I guess, motivated my son that I never thought could be motivated. Like, I never knew my son could be motivated, and it did. And now his job is actually one that it's harder for him, and it would definitely be hard for me. It's more labor, and all that. He takes apart tractors and stuff like that. Woo! Sorry, I almost fell. But either way, he loves it. And it's like the guys that he works with, they're all kind of like similar to kind of him. So it's like he found his own tribe. And I love that. So I am very thankful for the man, his boss, but I'm also very thankful for people still in this world saying, hey, you know what? I'm going to give you a chance, knowing that it might not work out. So I really, really appreciate that. And I guess what I'm trying to get at here is we can be thankful for our families, jobs, food, and so on. But don't forget to look outside the box, honestly. And don't be thankful for just one day because it says so on the calendar. Like Thanksgiving is just one day. Be thankful every single day. With that being said, thank you. And I mean that. Thank you for tuning in to listen to my podcast every single time I publish it. I appreciate every single one of you. If you would like to make a donation to help support my podcasting journey, all you got to do is click on the support the show link. You can also find me on Facebook. Last but not least, embrace the weird and make normal feel boring. Bye.